Hello, my name's Kelley Watson. I am a certified Pilates instructor. I was certified through the Pilates Method Alliance in 2007, and I've been teaching ever since. I would like to impart my knowledge and experience to you through these videos, so I hope you enjoy. One of the best ways to alleviate hip pain is to get one of these cushions. Can you see it? It's like these cushions are great because they really loosen up the hips. Just have a seat on it, on any chair, and shift your side to side. Shift yourself to the left, to the right, and it really loosens up those hip bones. Plus it feels good, and it kind of like makes you laugh because it's like a whoopee cushion, but it does feel really good. So side to side. Then to challenge it, can bring one arm out, so one hand comes out, and then bring a knee up to one hand and then alternate the other. Now what you're doing is adding a stretch in that through the ITB, the iliotibial band, and tensor fasciae latae, which also feed into the hips. So now you're stretching those areas which is conducive to alleviating any hip pain. The TFL runs from here all the way down the side of the leg. The iliotibial band, it's not a muscle, it's fascia. So that's why it's called ITB instead of like ITM, because it's a whole band of fascia. When that gets tight, you will really feel hip pain. The way to stretch that is to do exactly this. Take one leg, cross the other, whether you're doing it in a chair or standing up, and then get that whole stretch in the side of the leg. If you wanted to challenge core with this, or even more, then you would raise the knees and then cross over like this without touching your feet down. So you do the same thing, but it has to be knee to palm, knee to hand, and not hand to knee. And that's where you're getting the core work. All right, so that's the wobble sit. This is also great, these cushions to put behind your neck and shoulders if you're doing any ab work, and because it supports the back when you lift your head. So that's another really good use for these little wobble sit things. Okay, then there, still seated, you're in the chair, and extend the legs in front of you. You can keep a soft knee for now, or even a bent knee, and just hinge and roll forward. And this is also part of a back series. Great for the hips. Really wonderful against the wall too, so you can just bring your back against the wall and do a wall hinge. Think that you're creating the maximum distance from your tailbone to your nose. So you're really creating distance in those vertebrae, and just kind of like stretch forward and feel the stretch in the back and the hips. The farther you bring your feet, the more of a stretch in the hips you will feel. The more you extend your legs and bring the heels down with the toes up, the more intense the stretch, because now what you're doing is you're adding a hamstring stretch, but you don't want to lock the legs. Always keep kind of like a soft knee and not a locked knee. You will feel the difference. Only move to the point of stretch, not beyond it. If you can bring your hands down, so be it, but if it looks more like this, then that's just what your body tells you to do at this point. Move your hands one direction, or move your torso one direction and then the other. So if you move your hands, let's say they're on the floor, to one side of your foot and then the other, you will feel the stretch in the corresponding opposite side of your back in those external rotators in the lower back, which also support the hips. So it's important to work those as well. And then if you wanted even to stretch those muscles more, you would add a complete saw, so the arms would be out to the sides. Rotate through the waist and then reach down, baby finger to little toe, bring the palm back, look over that shoulder, and then come back up, and then again rotate through the torso, baby finger to little toe, and then look over the palm and come back up. So you're still getting the posterior work in the hips, right back in those external rotators. And then an easy, just a real simple exercise is to bring the soles of the feet together and kind of like in a cobbler's pose. This is derivative of yoga, but what that does, it's kind of, or if you want to think of this as butterfly, it really opens up the hips. You can do this seated, not in a chair, on the floor, on your back, just then kind of like turns into happy baby, but bring the soles of the feet together and you're really getting a wonderful hip stretch. You can take that one step further and just do a figure 4. You could do this on your back as well. Very effective in the chair. You can open the knee up and then hinge forward. So this is an intense stretch. You will really feel this. It brings home what side is tighter than the other. You'll really feel the difference. If this figure 4 position doesn't work for you, if that's not available to you, you can always cross a little bit, cross at the knee and roll forward, and you're still getting that rotator stretch and ITB stretch. Also on the other side, the side that's tighter might need more work or might need to hold that stretch longer. So do that. There are guidelines to how long you should hold a stretch, but just till you feel the fascia unwind. You'll get that warm, fuzzy feeling, that tingly feeling, and that means that you've stretched the fascia. So that's kind of like a good guideline. So you could also use the chair standing to stretch the hips. So you can do this. So take the chair and bring one foot up to the front of it. So now you're kind of like in a lunge on the chair. I'm gonna go this leg better and then lean back. So now what you're doing is you're stretching the quads and the psoas. You also want to stretch the front of the back, not the back, because tight quads is conducive to hip pain as well, or are conducive to hip pain as well. So you want to stretch the front of the back as well as the back. So just lean back and you will really feel that stretch from the ribs to the knees, and you'll also feel it in your hips as you lean back. So it's just that, it's great stretch. And then also use the chair to stretch the hamstrings. Roll forward just to where you feel that stretch. Feel the stretch all the way up to the hips, to the low back. And again, you don't really want to lock the leg, and you can keep a soft knee. And so if this is your range, then so be it, as long as you're feeling that in the hips. You should never be in pain. You should feel a stretch. If there's pain, don't do it. And then when in doubt, leave it out. Just don't do it at all. You can also add that figure 4 stretch to the center of the chair. The knee comes out and then roll forward like this. And then you will feel that stretch in the hip as well. And one other one I just remembered in the chair is the slouch. So I'm gonna bring you back like this, bring the chair back. And again, it's for the front. It's more psoas, and which, as I said, you're stretching the front of the back. So you're just in the chair. Bring the side you want to stretch, the leg of the side that you want to stretch out to the side. The other leg comes forward, and then just lean back, and you will really feel that stretch in the back side. It feels great. The more you bring the leg out to the side, the greater the stretch, and the more you slouch, like everybody tells you not to do, the better you'll feel. So now you have an excuse for slouching. You can do this. Extend a leg, and now you're exercising the leg back. And so those are beginning hip exercises seated. So thank you for watching my videos, and I hope you feel better, and I'll see you next time.